Hey guys, it's Dr. Marcy, and I just want to share some blood work with you so that you can see what I'm looking at when I am looking for what's going on with a person and how we can best support them and help them. So I'm just going to share my screen. And this is a woman who is in her late 60s, early 70s. And what we are looking at with her is specifically the blood work around her, well, kidney function and hormones. Uh, and what we can see is that the lab has flagged her BUN and her creatinine as being high, and her filtration rate is being low. So this is indicative of kidney dysfunction, and we need to do a little bit more looking into it because she obviously is not functioning at her most optimal. And then when we look at the sodium number, back in 2023, it was pretty high here. And we just want to make sure that we're paying attention to that. It has come down, but then her potassium has gone up and has even been flagged as high by the lab. So we want to know what's going on with that and why. Again, it could be related to kidney function. This is also an indication of adrenal stress. And when she had both of these tests done, she was under a lot of stress, but we want to make sure that we're keeping that under control. Chloride is also high in two of the measurements, both in June of 23 and again, just this past December. This other measurement is from June of 24. So the farthest columns are exactly a year apart. This one is just this past December. Her albumin is low in both times that they measured it, which indicates that there is some issues with leaky gut. And then her alk phos on both of those is high. And seeing this high usually means that there's a lot of muscle breakdown happening. And for a female older than 45, this is not what we want to see. We did do a liver cleanse and brought these two numbers closer to where we want to see them ideally, still not perfectly there. And we did bring that alk phos down, but not as far as we would like to see it. Her cholesterol, I'm okay with cholesterol up at 225, depending on what the LDL number is. The problem is her LDL number did increase with that. Now, here's something I want to point out. In 2023, her triglycerides were high. And usually this is an indication of a thyroid dysfunction. It can be an indication of some other hormonal dysfunction. And we want to pay attention to those numbers. And if we look down here, we've got this super high elevated TSH, which is an indication that there is hormone dysfunction because the pituitary gland is overproducing and going crazy. Her free T3 at the time was low. That liver cleanse, we just completed it about 3 weeks before her blood work. As you can see here, 80% of your T3 is produced in the liver and the gut. So we've made improvements there. And then this is the number that I want people to pay attention to as well. That triglyceride number being high usually indicates a thyroid dysfunction. She is producing antibodies. Yes, it's still within the range, but do you want to treat somebody when they're producing antibodies or after they have a full-blown autoimmune disorder? And my answer is I think we should start treating at the moment they have antibodies and working on their overall health right there. And then when we get into the white blood cell count, she has a low-grade infection going on. That is accurate. So we know that this 8.1 is accurate. Here's what we see though. Her hemoglobin has been low for a while, hematocrit low for a while, and then this MCH is elevated, which is an indication that she has some trouble methylating, and we need to support her there. Her neutrophils have been low for a while, and again, this could be indicative. The closer the neutrophils and the lymphocytes get to a 1-to-1 ratio, the closer we see autoimmune disorder. And then the lymphocytes are elevated and monocytes are elevated, indicating something viral. the eosinophils being elevated back in 2023. There was a dog that was not well in her home. We think it was a parasite exposure. Those are back under control now, but we still have some elevated basophils indicating some food allergies and or parasites are still present. So we want to get that under control. Her testosterone is not doing as well as it was in June. So we want to figure out what we can do to help that naturally. Part of it is going to be getting this DHEA up. Her estradiol is much improved, and so is her progesterone. This more comprehensive look at a narrow range for the blood work helps us to really dial in what this client needs for support. And right now, the biggest support that we can see that she needs is we need to take care of the leaky gut and get the kidneys functioning better. One thing I can tell you about this client is that she is chronically dehydrated, which can mimic kidney failure. So we need to work on that dehydration issue.